All right. Good morning. Happy Aloha Friday. It is part 4 of this Southeast Mobile App series to kind of tag on to my already 4 and 12 subscribers over in Bristol Bay. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's because you need to go watch the intro. So grab that. And in this app, or in this part, we're all set up. We've got a database schema. We've got our kind of cursor environment set up where we've kind of got all our markdown files ready to roll. This includes things like our UI guidelines, kind of what our tech stack looks like, the general overlay of what the project looks like, some of our own rules. And what we're actually going to do is I had someone comment in the last video, how come you're not using Supabase MCP? No good reason. And I'll tell you, I switched over because of that comment. I've been wanting to do that. I don't know why I didn't do it. I made the switch, game changing. So we're actually going to go back and make one adjustment here in our setup. And then what the goal here is at the end of this video, we're going to just have the mobile app just playing here in the simulator and see how that all looks. So let's kick that off. And before we do, I just want to bring up Mentor Crews. These guys are pretty awesome because regardless of what you're trying to build, having someone to just kind of get you from 0 to 100 really quickly and to just like take time and just compress it into, a few hours or a week over something that might have taken you 6 weeks, a month, whatever it might be. This is something I've always done myself. So I have not used this platform, but I reached out and I've seen others using it. And so you've got really high fidelity folks on here. And so everything from engineering mentors, design, startup, a lot of them with some like really killer backgrounds. And so marketing, leadership, career. So pretty much this is applicable for anyone. And so you go on here, find someone you think you might jive with, and then see how they can help you out and get you from 0 to 100 a little quicker with whatever it is you're trying to do. So thanks, Mentor Crews, and let's continue. So, link down below. If you decide to sign up with anyone, please use the link below. All right, so let's continue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through this process, and don't try to... I'm going to show you some sensitive information from my profile here on Supabase. But let's see. Nope, that's not the one I want. I want this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over to having Supabase MCP. So that way we can handle all our database stuff within Cursor, and we're not handling any schema stuff within the Supabase dashboard of any kind or the SQL editor on Supabase. So let's get that set up. The first thing we're going to need to do is I'm going to grab this little JSON snippet from a different project here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go to settings. You think I could just... And cursor settings. We're going to go to... wherever the heck this thing is. Is it tools and integrations? Oh, I think I already hooked it up because I was so excited after I had got it hooked up. All right, so here it is. This access token is sensitive, but don't even bother. I'm gonna wipe it out after this. So yeah, what we'll do is you go to your profile on Supabase. Move myself here. So you go to your profile, account preferences. Under your account settings tab, you're gonna have preferences, access token security. Go to access tokens, and we're gonna create a new token. And you generate that token. You'll grab it, and then so let's just do it. Southeast delete. You only get to see it one time, so once you have it, that's it. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to remove it and come back. So I'll put that there. Also, that is not the right project reference ID. So to get your reference ID, you go to project settings, and boom, project ID is just right there, general settings. And we're going to throw that in. All right, cool. So what have we just done here? Basically, what's going to happen is as we're coding, as we inform our agents to code for us, they may suggest some database schema changes. It can go out to Supabase and do that for us without us having to do it. I just realized after saying all that, though, we need to do something slightly different. And the reason is because I don't want to, maybe this is my production branch. I don't really want to commit code or commit database schema changes to something that's live. And so I'm just going to make a dev branch. And so this essentially just is going to replicate your main branch, what your main database is when you initially set it up. And then we can build off of it, make improvements, what have you. And then from there, we can always just merge it back into the existing database. And then it's just a really smooth way to kind of continuously make updates without blowing things up. And so just kind of this topic alone is one of the pieces that's important to kind of have your hands on, rather than just building within a bolt or a replit or something like this, because you really do just want to have that control over time. If you're building something that's going to go into production and is actually going to be used, right? If it's something internal, whatever, and you blow something up, who cares? But if I want to be selling a product, I'm not trying to blow my customers up. So let's see if it gives us a cool. So I'm going to use this now instead. Awesome. So now we can use that. So the next piece of this is I actually want to, if you aren't familiar, you can go back. But basically what we're doing is we're just taking some data from the Alaska Department of Fish and Game in one of their tables and displaying it in a better way. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm not necessarily going to go crazy on this, but we're just going to make a point. So this is primarily what we've been working on. Dude, this coffee's killer. It's Starbucks dark roast. It's pretty good. The old French press. Get her done. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, actually. So I'm just going to grab a little screenshot like this. I'm going to head on over to V0. Actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to hit it up with ChatGPT 5 because they're live. I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to post this in, and now I'm going to describe what we're building. And I'm not going to do that because we've already talked about this. And we kind of created a PRD around this. So I've attached my screenshot of data representing the below project, the below PRD. Essentially, I have built a way to grab this data and store it such that I can display it for a mobile device. Me come up with some design ideas I can use to pass on to my mobile developer who is doing the UX for this data. Below is a PRD of what all is going on. Ask any questions you might have in order to provide this, in order to help my UX designer create a mockup. So, because what I want to do, am I using, I'm using 4.0. No. Stop this. No. Dude, they just dropped GPT-5 yesterday, and I've been using it in Cursor, and it really is like, yeah, I don't even know how to describe how incredible it is, and so it kind of changes a lot of things. I don't know why it won't let me. Whatever. I'm just gonna make a new chat then. Oh, am I not updated or something? Okay, whatever. I guess we're just gonna stick with 4. All right. So, main screen, salmon harvest by area. That's fine. Header. Inside a card to view more. Yeah, we'll keep it going. So there are many fisheries, and we need a way to for the user may need to show, because they do have like because the thing is, like, you might just want to be like, show me sockeye for each fishery area, right? I'll need the ability to show, for example, just sockeye prices for each fishery provided. Cool. No wireframe, just provide the concept in text. So one of the things you're gonna see me is like, I might not like actually be, I might be like, when I actually build this to go to sell, you know, I'm going to be a lot more diligent and probably even look for things on the internet and just kind of like browse around to see like how other people have kind of done this and handled tables. The point here, like with these tutorials, it's not to like get super detailed and crazy. It's more so like, look, you can build really cool stuff and not be technical. That's what like I'm really trying to hit at, and like what my process looks like. And this is pretty much my process. Whether it's for myself or clients. So I'm just kind of reading through this. Species. Cool. Yeah. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head up V0, because what I want to do is kind of see what this might look like before we actually put it in GPT. Or excuse me, Cursor. We're using GPT-5 now. Whew. Dude, they rolled out 5 for everybody. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to attach this guy. Really? Should have an account. Desktop. No, use the provided screen screenshot above is we came up with the below idea to display that desktop data into mobile. All right, let's let this thing cook and see what we get. Because if I do like what it provides, like the demo that it provides, then I can provide that to Cursor, and then that way we can just be like a little bit closer. While that's thinking, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw that up over here so that way. Basically, I just want to do, I've created, now what I want to do is just make sure that it has a handle on my database. So I've created and I also just want to make sure that the migration of the original database to that branch database worked, and I'm looking at it, and it did. This database is crazy simple, right? Like there's literally it's like 2 tables, but that's fine for this tutorial. Because eventually you're going to do stuff and it's going to have like 30 tables, right? Like this last project I did for a client, it's got like, it's got a ridiculous amount of tables. Okay, so it's still cooking. I've created the MCP JSON connection for this project. Just want to make sure you are aware. To test, give me a brief description of my database schema so far. And it should know that, right? Because actually I'm going to take this, I'm going to delete that. I don't want it to know about that. The database schema that we had previously, that was like my previous workflow. Very manual. Cool. Whoa, what's it executing? Probably should have checked before it. Oh, cool. Cool. That's all I need to see. Basically what this is doing is executing beautiful. So, beautiful. We are now ready to begin the development side of this project. All right, we have a little mobile concept done. So this is, by fishery data, right? Boom, boom, boom. You can do by species. And the island. So it's got an, right? I mean, I think that it's definitely pretty interesting, right? I think this is great. So, all right. What I want it to do now is I'm going to see if it can provide, can you please provide this UI in text to describe this to my mobile developer. So come here, and I'm gonna grab this screenshot, and I'm also gonna grab this screenshot. And so this is the part where I think it's really important to be diligent with whatever, it's providing you, because there's like some ways it's going to handle offline data that might not be offline showing cache data. Beautiful. I'm not going to go like through this all super diligently, but I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And so I have a mock-up already designed to display this data from the database in a nice way. We'll display this in a tab called like the tabs at the bottom of a mobile app. We'll just call it we're gonna call it whatever, harvest. We're gonna call it harvest area. For now, we'll just call it harvest. I've provided screenshots in reference to my below instructions for general layout of this. Let's go and grab that. Don't want that, but I do want these two. I don't need this crap that it provided. Then I'm going to say, please ask me any questions you have till you have enough information to feel confident with this implementation. Please, let's go from there. This video is going to be short, dude. GPT-5 cooks once it goes. It's pretty amazing. What I am going to do actually is go ahead and get a simulator up. This is, I got the iPad Pro up for a project I'm working on. Let's go new simulator. Well, open simulator. Yeah, we'll open up 5. Let's just do, sure, let's do iPhone 16. I don't want the huge one. So I'm going to put that off, get that up and rolling. All right, now let's work through this. Questions confirmed. So this is basically like, hey, how are we going to set up our code to query the database to get the right information? Because basically what this is asking in this first question is like, well, what season or year is going to exist in the database? Actually, the way that we've designed this project is it's only going to ever be the current. So the data in the DB is ever only the current. But to be safe, just query the year that is current. Should I compute minimum update? Dates. There's nothing to compute. Just display the dates for open, close, as provided. Open, as provided. The DB. Landing.species. Ooh. So if we go to our database, where am I here? I'll grab something real quick. Landing zone species. Okay, so I do have that column there. You can use a species list, which I have landings.species to this is static and will never change. Sorting by fishery alphabetical. Alphabetical is fine. They should be able to also favorite areas so they show at the top. Last updated should come from the DB field. Offline detection. Okay to add. Yes. We need a way to show data that was most previously queried so that offline it's cached and they can still view it and it doesn't get wiped out. Currency, nope, just use U.S dollars always. Species chips, sure, something we can work on later. Accessibility wording, refresh button label, refresh data. Yep, that all sounds good. Yep, so I've answered your above questions. Please go ahead and proceed with a phase in process so I can, and it doesn't happen all at once. So the thing that I have here is when you do a dev branch, it doesn't bring over all the data from your original one. So this is all we're going to do. Here's the current data. We'll start with fisheries. We'll just go like this. Landings, export data, SQL, our fisheries, and then this is landings, export data, SQL. Then we'll go over to our dev branch. Hop in here. This is the same thing. Whoa. Go ahead and open this with text editor. Run that. What was this one that I was trying to landings? Oh, I need to run fisheries first. All right, well, so we'll run that. Boom. Then we can run this. Boom. All right, now we're populated. I way overcomplicated that. So if we go to the table, now you'll see all our data populated. Cool. So this is important because where are we at here? Perfect. Is there anything to test or see, or should we just proceed with phase 2B? The other thing I want to do is just go ahead and get this app running. So the command for that is npx expo run iOS device, and when you do that, it's going to ask you like what you want to run it on. So we're going to prepare on the simulator. You can't run this directly with an Expo app on a simulator, at least not that I know of. Maybe you can. If you can, let me know. All right, I'm going to pause this, and then once it comes up, we'll continue on. All right, we got ourselves a build. Looks like it's not having a good day, so let's see what we got going on here. Before moving on, here is the issue I'm seeing. See what we get. So let's continue. I don't know why. They're not all installed. Reload it. Cool. Look at that. So here is our harvest tab. By species, by fish area. All right. Now we can proceed with the additional phasing in. Before we do that, what I want to do is just handle some some whoa. I scrolled up way too much. So get add all get commit phase 2A complete. Get push. All right, now with phase 2B. All right, so I just had it finish phase 2 here. Oh yeah, I'm not running it anymore. The server, so npx expo start. And this way, reload the app, see what we get here. See what it says here. Supabase URL is required. Do I not have a .env file? This error is concerning to me. Yeah, no shit. So we're going to add a .env file here. I'm going to go grab my Supabase URL. So here's that. And then here's my anon key. Wherever that is. Clearly don't know where that is. Cool. Boom, look at this. Now we're rolling. Net Island. By species. Oh, I see. I can't use my thing to scroll. This is awesome. So this is what we did here. So here's how it looks. And if we click species, we can even then click like it's on sockeye. Obviously, we can make that update. We're not going to get into it, but look, I mean, this is pretty cool. And then whenever you query this, we'll have the next part is we're going to create the scraper to actually put data into this. But there you have it. Looks great. Please continue with phase 3. Now, before I do that, I'm actually going to do the following. All git commit phase 2 done. And then we can move on to phase 3. And this is going to allow us to select favorites. I'm actually going to go gonna put this at the top, actually, like that. Ba-boom. That's just like a more what people really probably care about. Chinook Jack. See what this is doing right now. Cool. And look, we could go through the colors and all that sort of thing and change that out, but I'm not going to worry about that. This is just going to allow us to create a favorites, and then boom, well, that part one done. Probably want to test like offline stuff. I'll do that on my actual phone though. Speaking of, let's just put it on my actual phone. That sounds cool. So MPX. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just use the Expo Go app. So I just need the QR code. Open Expo Go. Boom. Dude, still puts a smile on my face. Building mobile, man. Let's see, sockeye, and here we are. So right on my phone, just like that. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, cool. So we've got our favorites, Annette Island. Okay, so let's see what happens if I do like hatchery, terminal troll. Persist and float to the top, ready to handle any tweaks or proceed to offline polish. So let me reload this thing because I want to see basically. Oh, there it is. Boom. Yeah, cool. So that works. All right, so let's add that. Get add, get commit, phase 3 done. Cool. Love it. All right, so that's all I got. I'm gonna go have myself a little breakfast, finish up my cup of coffee, and I got some client work to roll on to for the rest of the day. Probably gonna head up to Squamish here. And that's all I got. Don't forget to check out Mentor Cruises. That was a little rougher of a demo than I had anticipated. I've kind of been trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who like hasn't done anything, and so it kind of messes up with some of my approaches. And so I'm getting better at it though. Hope you appreciate the video, and happy Aloha Friday.